Did the early months of COVID-19 affect natural systems utilities at all? And were the water-related challenges your clients faced made better because there were so many people staying inside, or were the challenges exacerbated?
In a lot of ways, COVID affected NSU the same way it affected most companies, I would say, where obviously we want to keep everybody safe and healthy. So I think there was that aspect of it. It did affect our construction projects, right? So a few of our construction projects had to go on hold while everyone was figuring out what COVID was, how contagious it was, how could you actually work with it or not, right? So I think it did cause delays to our construction projects, or it did. In other ways, in terms of other water related challenges, we have some clients that are owners of office buildings, and no one was going into the office. So that was a challenge in that we had systems we were running or systems we were trying to fix, or which in some respects you could fix things, but if you need to analyze things and you don't actually have flow, you know, how can you analyze an issue that you don't have flow for? So I think that's another way things were affected. The other thing that actually happened during COVID was all of the wildfires. That was not COVID related, but those kind of issues out west really made things hard for clients, but also I think is opening a lot of eyes in terms of opportunity for water reuse.
Maybe May or June of 2020, I remember seeing on the news that I think dolphins or something had returned to the coves and
Oh
bay.
yeah.
And so I was just thinking if, the reason they returned it, I think it was in part because they were clean, there was no more trash, there was no more people. That was probably like the main reason they ended up returning, so it's interesting.
And I guess time will tell, like what COVID kind of done to our sort of ecosystem and world. It kind of gave nature time to breathe.
Yeah. What do you think the largest breakthrough will be within STEM in the next 10 years and how it affect the next generation of young women?
I mean, STEM is so huge, and I guess I don't know if I can. There's probably a lot of things out there that could break through, but I really do think we're at a point in dealing with climate change that's pretty huge, and how we respond. And I think that's how we use energy, how we use materials, how we use water. So I'm hopeful that, and I see it in this kind of next generation, that they understand that, and given those kind of constraints of how hard it might be to prevent our world from warming even more, or um, going going above the 2 degrees Celsius that we want to try to avoid. That's kind of where innovation and breakthrough comes, not only in discovery, but hopefully in a change in culture, a change in attitude on how to deal with these challenges. Because I think some of it is just behavioral on how we treat our planet and how we use our resources.
I totally agree. I think that changing people's attitude towards climate change is just as important, if not even more important, as doing the huge things or totally changing society to fight climate change. But if you just do your part, and if everyone just does a little and doesn't get overwhelmed and doesn't develop the mindset that I'm one person, I can't change
Hmm.
anything, I can't fix climate change. If people don't develop that, I think that there's really a huge potential for people to all work together and to change some of this.